G'day everybody, Daniel here from GI Energy. Today I want to talk to you about government incentives and subsidies for commercial solar in Australia. As we've covered in some other videos, the return on investment for commercial solar in Australia is probably the best in the world, and there's two reasons for that. Firstly, we're gifted with a beautiful climate for solar. If you're up north in Queensland, it's a bit different to being in Tasmania, of course, but generally speaking, you get really good weather for solar energy, especially when you compare to most other countries in the world. So we've got the climate for it, but we've also got really good government support. So this is not a political video. This is not, we don't have an opinion on whether these subsidies should or should not be there, or if it's right or wrong that they've been introduced. There's plenty of other people that will talk about that. They are here, and our purpose is to inform you of what they are and how you can benefit from them. So for commercial solar, there's two main subsidies that you need to be aware of. For solar panels, there's STCs and there's also LGCs. For batteries, there's now STCs as well. Within each state, there's different subsidies as well, typically for batteries, and then there's also smaller grants available that are usually industry specific, which can help with the overall purchase. I won't be focusing on them today. We're going to focus on the main solar specific, federal, meaning available to everybody, subsidies for solar and batteries. So STC stands for Small Scale Technology Certificate. A Small Scale Technology Certificate is a certificate that is given to a solar system based on how much energy it will generate. If you install a 1 kilowatt solar system versus a 10 kilowatt solar system, you're going to get basically 10 times as many STCs for the 10 kilowatt system compared to the 1 kilowatt system. That same scale is prorated all the way up to 100 kilowatts for solar panels. So if you install a 100 kilowatt system, you get the maximum amount of STCs that you can get for a solar system in Australia. After that, you don't get any subsidies up front. Similar with batteries, there are now battery STCs available. The difference with the battery STCs is that it only goes up to 50 kilowatt hours of storage. Although you can install 100 kilowatt hours in one go, you can only claim up to 50 kilowatt hours. So the STCs will pay for approximately 30% of the overall cost of a supply and install of a solar and or battery system. That's a pretty significant portion of the overall cost, and means that your return on investment is significantly reduced using those subsidies. They're very easy to claim. Basically, they're a point of discount on the solar system or the battery system, meaning that you don't pay the full amount and have to worry about claiming back the 30%. Your solar installer will do that for you, and you'll just pay the difference. That's pretty crucial when you're going to finance, obviously, and not using capital to purchase, because you don't have to finance the full amount, you only finance the remaining 70%. The only input really that's needed from you is just additional paperwork, signatures on forms, and then once the system's installed, a little bit more paperwork just so that we can show the regulator that it has actually been installed. It's pretty minimal input, to be honest, for a pretty significant benefit. Once you go over 100 kilowatts of solar panels installed, that's when your LGCs kick in. So an LGC is for solar panels only, not for batteries, and it's a large generation certificate. It means that you don't get the STCs. So if you're installing 101 kilowatts of solar, right the way up, beyond megawatts, then you will get LGCs. An LGC is determined by how much energy you generate. So once the system is live, you have a meter in place that will measure how much energy you generate. The generation is then sent through to be basically to create LGCs. It's usually used, you usually use an aggregator in between them and the people paying for it. So they will process the data in the meter, issue you basically a number that you have to invoice for, and each quarter or however you choose to set it up, you'll then get an LGC payment. So it's pretty autonomous. There's no manual input required other than that invoice that needs to be generated, and the LGCs will continue to get paid until the value is zero. What I mean by that is the STCs and the LGCs are both diminishing in value. With the STCs, depending on when you install, if you install on the 31st of December of any year versus the 1st of January the following, the number that you'll get the following year is always less. It comes down every year to 2030 until they're completely removed. The same applies to battery STCs. For the LGCs, it's a little bit different. The value that you'll get will be determined by how many new solar systems are going online and claiming LGCs. So If in this year you get loads and loads of new solar got online for LGCs, the value will probably dip quicker than anticipated. If the following year there's a bit less than we expect, then it might not diminish as quickly, but it will still go down. So every year the LGCs go down in value. What you would typically do when you install your solar is sign a contract for maybe 3 to 5 years to lock in your LGC value so that you know what you're going to get. That's very easily done, and again, your solar installer should be able to take care of that for you. Those are the main subsidies. Outside of the smaller state subsidies, which are typically batteries, and the grants that are available across the country, those are the main ones. They're the big hitters. There is also some subsidised finance available potentially for larger systems, but once again, that's more site specific, so I won't go into them in this video. Where you need to start, if you're interested in looking into what your return on investment would be, is finding a suitable company with good experience in commercial solar who can investigate what your load profile is. That's the first step. Take that load profile and start designing a solar system around it. They should also be looking at that point at overall energy management and future-proofing your system so that it takes care of your needs now and in the future. We've got more videos on energy management and what that means, and we can put a link to them in the notes. But ultimately, you really want a company that's looking at your overall holistic energy use and tailoring a system for you. And if they're not asking for your load profile as a first point of call and really digging down into the detail of how you're using energy and how you are going to use energy, then they're probably not starting off the correct way. So do your due diligence, find someone that's experienced, ask for insurances and ABNs, and do your homework to make sure that they know what they're doing. It is a bit of a tricky industry because it's still emerging and a low barrier to entry. There's a lot of companies out there that probably aren't as good as they claim to be with commercial solar. So do your homework, find someone that can do it really well, and find someone that will do it for you once, so you don't have to, unfortunately, remove systems when they're not working properly or replace expensive hardware when things change. If you'd like to speak to GI Energy, we'd love to help. And if not, hopefully you've got some value from this video and we may speak to you in the future. Thank you.